I'm actually very grateful to be up here standing in front of you guys speaking truth to power. I'm grateful to have this opportunity, but stick with me for a while because I'm going places. I find it odd that this entity that who was supposed to be the arch enemy, the chief adversary, the biggest, baddest boss ever, the greatest enemy of mankind, I find it strange that he has no name. And I can already hear someone saying, but okay, you're talking about Satan, right? Satan's original name was Lucifer. Is Lucifer, right? No, his name is not Lucifer. Lucifer is a Latin transliteration based on a Hebrew term. And remember, the Bible was not written in Latin. The Bible was written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. And so what these later day Latin translators did when they translated their Bible from Hebrew to Latin, what they did was they read the original term Hallel ben Shahar, which means son of dawn, and they created a personal name based off of that phrase, Lucifer, the light bearer. But it was actually a reference to the planet Venus. So let's take a few steps back, okay? Stay with me. In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, verses 11 to 18, you have the prophet Ezekiel giving witness to the fall of a great king, and he's mocking him. And through this mocking, he's also equating the fall of this king to the fall of Satan from heaven. He's also connecting the fall to the course that the planet Venus, aka the morning star, takes through the sky. That's what you have there. So again, Satan's name was never Lucifer, and we still don't actually know what it is. But let's look at what we do know. Okay, first of all, Satan is not a name. It is a title meaning adversary. Simple as that. And so technically, anything or anyone that you perceive to be your enemy is a Satan, a Satan. Moving on, we know that he is a son of God. We know that he is an angel, one of the most beautiful angels. Ezekiel 28 tells us specifically that he belonged to a class of angels called cherubim. And one of his responsibilities was protecting the Garden of Eden. And I imagine that for a while he actually did that until he didn't. Until he tricked us, convinced the first humans that eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil would make them more godlike. Which it did, in a way. It made us more knowledgeable. But what he lied about was our immortality. He said that eating of the tree would not kill us. And what happened? We eventually died. It took us a few hundred years to, but we did. And so let's backtrack. We know Satan is a son of God. We know he is an angel, right up there with Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. The Bible says that he walked amongst the heavenly host, and he was perfect in every way until unrighteousness was found in him. And this unrighteousness was most likely brought about because of pride. All right. If you read the book of Isaiah now, chapter 14, we find another correlation between the fall of a great and powerful king to the fall of Satan. Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14 can be read back to back. It's basically a continuation. And so to anyone out there who's saying that these verses are not about Satan and that it's actually just referring to these kings, you're sadly mistaken, because it tells us that this being was perfect. It tells us that he was the anointed cherub who protected the Garden of Eden. It tells us that he was created on the mountain of God in heaven. So that's letting you know right there that this is not just a man we're talking about. We're talking about a heavenly being. This is Satan's origin story. All right, so again, apparently Satan was a glorious sight to behold, and he became full of himself because of that. So full of himself to the point where he wanted to exalt his throne above the throne of his creator, which led to his downfall. All right. And to this day, this is basically the main goal of Satan and his fallen angels. His main goal is to exalt his throne above his creator, to basically usurp the throne of God and to pervert and twist his creation, which is why if you read some of the apocryphal books which were taken out of the Bible, they are called, extra biblical sources. If you read some of those books, you find out that the fallen angels bended the whole world to their will, basically, and by not only having sex with humans and making babies with them, but also through gene splicing. They created human and animal hybrids. So much to the point where the Most High had to flood the earth and basically start over again because they were deviating too much from his plan. But make no mistake, these things are still going on today. Any major technological breakthroughs that you see now on or in the future dealing with cloning, especially artificial intelligence, is approved by the fallen angels. If they could create an army of robots and replace us, Satan would be profoundly pleased with that. Make no mistake. The LGBTQ community, without a doubt, is also something that is promoted by fallen spirits. Why do I say that? Because that lifestyle destroys the family unit. Okay? You can't be fruitful and multiply if you're messing around with the same sex. All right? And so anything that is anti-nature, anti-God, anti-Christ is out of alignment with God's plan. And the fallen angels, as I said earlier, their whole goal is to flip God's plan on its head. And that's what we're seeing taking place today. We're seeing people living in accordance with Satan's plan in Satan's world. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, Satan is even referred to as the God of this world, the God of this age. Okay? And so we know these things, but we still don't know his name before he became corrupted. The Bible makes absolutely no mention of it. He's only referred to as the dragon, the serpent, and the devil. All right?